Hello there, football extremists. Welcome to the Bongs Football Podcast. Today we will be discussing the ever so popular and controversial Paul Pogba. Yeah, that guy, exactly him. The French international who makes a lot of headlines often for his antics off the field and what he's wearing or his hairstyle, but for less than actually on the field. So, yeah, where do we start with Paul Pogba? In 2012, he left Man United for Juventus as he was fed up with the limited game time that he was given under then manager of Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson. So he went to Juventus for regular football. Returned in 2016 from Juventus as the club's most expensive signing for a fee in the region of £89.3 million. He was amongst the highest earners in the team with an annual wage of £15.1 million and a weekly wage of £290,000 per week. Yo, that's serious money, guys. Serious money. So recently, Paul Pogba has been making the headlines once again, as he always does. You know, this is a celebrity footballer, superstar, if I may say so. He's always in the news for something that he does or something that he says, and the media just gets a wind of it. So recently there was a preview of the Pogba, which he discussed the offer by Man United, and to quote what he said, "How can you tell a player you absolutely want him and offer him nothing? Never seen that." So that's a quote from the Pogba. So according to Paul Pogba, £290,000 per week is nothing. To him, that was not something that he felt he deserved, and so he was unwilling to sign a new contract and decided to live on a free. And £290,000 per week for a player who does not play a whole season and spends most of the season on the sidelines, I'd say it's quite fair. No more than quite fair, actually. It's quite generous. But then we are not the same. So what's generous for me is nothing for someone else like Paul Pogba. So, yeah, and right now, the situation, since Paul Pogba has left Man United on a free, you'd think that there'd be a host of clubs or teams that would be jumping to sign him, but so far, it's been bleak. There were rumors here and there, but you know, teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, teams you'd expect to just snap up a world-class player like Paul Pogba, but all those teams have just passed on the opportunity to sign him and decided to look elsewhere. So, interesting really, considering that Pogba is not just a football player, but star as well, because I mean, commercially he would just make a team so attractive, and sponsors would be just lining up to be aligned with a brand like him. But that hasn't been the case thus far. And let's look at what the past 6 years that he's been at Man United, how has his career been, and what has he achieved and what he has done or contributed to Man United. So Man United under Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ralph Rangnick, he failed to be a regular starter for the team, most often than not coming off the bench. Maybe he'll play 2 or 3 games on the trot and back to the bench. A player like him, for the amount of money that he was bought for, it's quite disappointing, really, that he fails to cement a regular starting lineup in a Man United team that's been a shadow of their former selves. And here's a player who was brought in for huge amounts of money on huge wages, but he failed to deliver. So a different player when he's with his national team, and he always makes controversial comments when he was on international duty, where his performances were being questioned, like, is this the same guy that we see in the Premier League week in, week out? But when he's with the French national team, he's bossing the midfield, he's pulling the strings, he's dictating the play, he's the general, he's in control of everything there. And he seems more happier when he was with the national team than he was with Man United. 6 years at Man United, and he only won the Europa League and the League Cup, which is a huge, huge disappointment. I think even for his expectations, that was way below par. And since he's left, it seems that he might resign for Juventus on weekly wages rumored to be around £163,000 per week. And this is a guy who said £290,000 per week is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he is on the verge of signing for a team for way less than what he was offered at Man United and what he was complaining about. So I'm not sure how his advisors who were negotiating on his behalf are feeling now that he got such an offer. And at 29 years of age, time isn't on his side. Maybe this might be his last contract, because as you know, in football, as you get older, you tend to be more towards the end of your career, and only a certain few players who look after themselves actually really just go out there. And despite the age, I mean, look at players like your Benzemas, your Cristiano Ronaldos, your Andrea Pirlos, Andres Iniesta, your Chavis, to name but a few. Those guys, despite being on the other side of 30, they were still the players who were very much reliable for their team. So Paul Pogba, it's all up to him, really, what he does next. I think the talent is certainly there, but maybe it's a change in attitude, and also the environment that he's in. So for his sake, we do hope that he finds a suitable team where he'll get to showcase his talent, and hopefully he performs way, way better than the past 6 years at Man United. So let's watch the space and see what unfolds. Until next time, this is Bong's Football Podcast. It's been good to be with you. Catch us only on Football Xstream, and I'm out.